Shri Radha Radha ki, Shri Nitai Sundar ki, Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, our beloved spiritual masters, divine loving Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Purushottam Master ki, Nitai Go Prema. Panchakalpatra Kripa Sindhi Vachapatitanam Bhagavad Vaishnava Gita. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you for attending the program and giving me some blessing so I can speak some transcendental words for my own purification. So please give me your blessing. Hare Krishna. Is everyone okay?
Yes.
Good to see you all again. It's so nice. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjanakshakayam Chakshur-anmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatra Kripa Sindhu Bevacham Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Chivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we have come once more again onto this most auspicious occasion of Purushottam Mass or month, in that it comes after every 2.5 years or 3 years. And I'll tell you in a little while why. And therefore, it is important that we should recite Bhagavad Gita as it is every day, chapter 15, the whole of chapter 15. And there are 20 slokas in that chapter, and for 4 weeks you can divide that. For 5 days you can do 5 chapters in each week. 5 verses in each week, not 5 chapters. 5 verses each week.
You read the whole text, Prabhu.
Huh?
Read the whole text. It's only 20 texts.
Sorry?
It's only 20.
Only 20, yeah, but you should do, so that you must read each day and decipher it for yourself, what's the meaning of each verse.
No, but you can read the whole chapter in one go and then take one verse and read it for the day.
Yeah, you can do it however if you want to, but it's nice if you do that, but you got to analyze that verse because I'm going to tell you why.
One a day.
Huh?
One verse a day, but you're going to read the whole chapter 15 each day. So read the whole chapter 15 and then take one text and read it each
Okay,
day.
you can. If you can manage it, that is. Sometimes somebody haven't got that amount of time, I'm not sure.
No, just the Sanskrit and the English translation.
Yeah.
It'll take about maximum 15 minutes.
Yeah, and to decipher that will take more time, Each verse, there's a lot of meaning in each verse actually. And in actual reality, chapter 15 is entitled the yoga of the Supreme, or Purushottam Yoga. That's what's the title of this. of this chapter is. And it is also stated here that it is the most important chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and it is most confidential. Of all chapters, this is the most confidential chapter. And we can tell, I'm going to tell you in a few moments why. I'm going to read the one verse. That is the last verse I'm going to read. On chapter 15, the Yoga of the Supreme Person or Purushottam Yoga. Iti guyatamam shastram idam uktam mayanagaham etad buddha buddhiman syat krita kritayascha bharata. You can repeat the translation word for word. Iti, thus, guyatamam, the most confidential. Shastram, revealed scripture. Idam, this. Uktam, disclosed. Maya, by me. Angaha, O sinless one. Etat, this. Buddha, understanding. Buddhiman, intelligent. Siyat, one becomes. Krita, kritya, the most perfect in his endeavors. Cha, and Bharata, O son of Bharata. You can repeat a few words of the translation after me. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures. O sinless one. And it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. So you can see how important this verse is being mentioned here. This is the most confidential part of Vedic scriptures. And we'll read why in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise. So if you can understand this, then you become a wise person. And his endeavors will know perfection. That means, if you make that endeavor, you can become perfected in your spiritual life. So I'm going to read the purport. You can listen very carefully. And while I'm going through this purport, reading, I will also analyze that. Okay? The Lord clearly explains here that this is the substance of all revealed scriptures. And what is this? Krishna will explain. And one should understand this as it is given by the Supreme Person of Godhead. So you must understand this not by your own whims and fancy, or by creating or manufacturing something in the factory of your own brain. It doesn't help. You must know it through, and one should understand this as it is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because this literature is the topmost and transcendental literature, because it was spoken by Lord Krishna himself, not by you or me or by anyone else. Understand? Because Krishna is the purest of the pure, he is the absolute truth. Therefore, anything that Krishna speaks, it is the absolute truth, on the transcendental platform. Thus one will become intelligent and perfect in transcendental knowledge. So if you understand this as it is given by Krishna, the Supreme Person of Godhead, then you will become intelligent and perfect in transcendental knowledge. And as you can see in Krishna consciousness, many of the devotees, how they make advancement and they become so intelligent. Previously, I myself, I can vouch for that, I'm not that intelligent yet. Nevertheless, though, but I knew nothing, zero. But coming to Krishna consciousness, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual masters and the devotees, we have learned so much of this transcendental knowledge and continuing to make advancement. So therefore, it is within our experience that we are talking about that we can make advancement, provided you follow this as it is given by the Supreme Person of God. That's why Bhagavad Gita is entitled Bhagavad Gita as it is, means as it was spoken by the Supreme Person of God. In other words, by understanding this philosophy of the Supreme Person of Godhead and engaging in his transcendental service, everyone can be freed from all contaminations of the modes of material nature. That's how important this is. I'm going to read that again. By understanding this philosophy of the Supreme Person of Godhead and engaging in his transcendental service, everyone can become freed from all contaminations of the modes of material nature. So this material nature consists of the three modes. And what are the three modes?
Goodness, passion,
yes. Goodness, passion and ignorance. Sattva guna, Raja guna and Tama guna. And when this living entity, the soul which is pure, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, comes into contact with material nature, we take on a material body and we become conditioned in this material world, especially by Raja guna and Tamo guna. On the mode of goodness, if you carry it out properly, you can make advancement and transcend the mode of goodness, which is also on the material platform. You can transcend this mode of goodness and become on the level of transcendental goodness, which is Krishna consciousness. Devotional service is a process of spiritual understanding. Wherever devotional service exists, the material contamination cannot coexist. Devotional service to the Lord and the Lord Himself are one and the same because they are spiritual. Devotional service takes place within the internal energy of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is said to be the sun, and ignorance is called darkness. Where the sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Therefore, whenever devotional service is present under the proper guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, there is no question of ignorance. So how can you come to Krishna consciousness and become intelligent and perfect in transcendental knowledge? How? Through devotional service. There's no other way. It's only through devotional service you can transcend these three modes of material nature. And that too, you must take shelter or the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. If you don't take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, surrender to him and carry out his instruction, then you will still remain in ignorance. But if you follow his instructions, the instruction of the spiritual master, under his guidance, then Prabhupada is mentioning here, there is no question of ignorance. You'll be free from this mode of ignorance in this material world. Due to this modes of ignorance in this material world, the living entities are struggling hard for existence. And the examples are right in front of us right now in this material world. I am not going to emphasize on that. You can see all the living entities, due to ignorance, not knowing this knowledge, who you are and what your relationship is with the Supreme Person of Godhead, and knowing that what you should do. Because they don't know that, they are running hither and thither. Isn't it? Yes. Huh? Right now, some of them are being chased out from this country of South Africa. What do you call that? Foreigners. Huh? Foreigners. Huh? They got no place to stay. They got no place to sleep, no food to eat. That's all stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto. In this age of Kali Yuga, what is going to happen? 5,539 years, 40 years ago, it's happening. And it's getting worse. And you can't save yourself from this. If we are ignorant, that's what's going to happen to us. But if you engage in devotional service through the guidance of a spiritual master, this would not happen to you. Everyone, and it is also stated here, it is compared that this spiritual activity of devotional service is compared to the sun, and material activity, which is in ignorance, is compared to darkness. Where there is sunlight, there is no darkness. Will you ever get darkness? No, you can never ever get darkness. Only a fool will think that is shining in sunshine, it is still dark. There's no such a thing. But if you are standing in darkness like that, you got to put all the lights off right now. You'll be in total darkness. That is in the mode of ignorance. You can't even see yourself, let alone anything else. In total darkness, you would not be able to see yourself. So therefore, we are not perfect. We are imperfect. But many claim to be perfect. Can you imagine if the sun just goes off all of a sudden? Completely. What happens? You can't even see yourself. So the scientists are claiming so many things, but yet they cannot understand. Without all these things, they cannot engage in whatever they are doing. So we have to glorify and owe our gratitude to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the living entities, the more they become intelligent, so-called intelligent in this material world, the more less intelligent they become, because they have no gratitude for what Krishna has given to us. Krishna has given us everything, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 verse 8, anybody knows what Krishna says? I am the source of both the material and the spiritual worlds. Both. The spiritual and the material world. Krishna is the source. So without that source, you can never get anything. That is the failure of the living entities and material, so-called intelligent person in this material world, because they think they know everything. And that's why Prabhupada said such persons are fool number one. That's Prabhupada's words. Everyone must take to this consciousness of Krishna and engage in devotional service to become intelligent and purified. You have to. It says here, everyone must take to this consciousness of Krishna and engage in devotional service to become intelligent and purified. Unless one comes to this position of understanding Krishna and engages in devotional service, however intelligent he may be, in the estimation of some common man, he is not perfectly intelligent. I've already explained that to you, right? Because the man who thinks he is very intelligent in this material world, he is not really very intelligent. The word anagha, by which Arjuna is addressed, is significant. Anaga, or sinless one, means that unless one is free from all sinful reactions, it is very difficult to understand Krishna. So if you even got a little contamination of sin, even thought, word and deed, you can never go to Krishna. You can never go to Krishna. So, therefore we got to understand this, that we have to, that's why Arjuna is addressed here as Anaga, means sinless one. Arjuna is, Hare Krishna, Arjuna is sinless because he is always in Krishna consciousness. So that is why that is very, very important. One has to become free from all contamination, all sinful activities. Then he can understand. But devotional service is so pure and so potent that once one is engaged in devotional service, he automatically comes to the stage of sinlessness. Therefore, devotional service is emphasized so much in Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, only through devotional service one can attain me. You cannot attain Krishna without devotional service. While one is performing devotional service in the association of pure devotees in full Krishna consciousness, there are certain things which require to be vanquished altogether. When you are practicing Krishna consciousness, under the guidance of a pure devotee, an example of the guidance of a pure devotee is Divine Loving Grace Srila Prabhupada ki. Under his guidance you can see what has happened if you follow properly his guidelines. You can become purified. The most important thing one has to surmount is weakness of the heart. So many people, they are very weak in the heart. The first fall down is caused by the desire to lord it over material nature. This is one of that. When one lords it over material nature, that is his fall down. You can see that. I don't have to explain again. All the leaders of our society in government, they have become so attached to material nature. What is happening to them now? They're getting dragged down more and more into this material world, and they are suffering. And when they are leading us due to their ignorance and misdirection, even us living entities, we struggle just through them because of their disqualification in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, even the leaders of our society, they should study Bhagavad Gita, and then only they should become leaders of society. Otherwise, they should not take up leadership. Just like Maharaj, Yudhishthir, all these great personalities, they were all Raja Rishis. They were very knowledgeable in Vedic scriptures, and they followed the Vedic injunctions, and they ruled perfectly through the Vedic injunctions, through the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because that has fallen away and they have become degraded today, the whole society is becoming degraded due to the misdirection in society. The first fall down is caused by the desire to lord it over material nature. They want to be lords of this material nature and try to own everything. Can they own anything? No. Nobody can own anything. Because at the time of death, what happens? You give up everything and you're gone. But we become so attached and try to lord it over without understanding why? Due to ignorance. So we have to come out of this ignorance. Thus one gives up the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord. Therefore one cannot, although we are part and parcel of Krishna, we are meant to serve Krishna. That is our real dharma or constitutional position. Dharma doesn't mean I am Christian, I am Muslim, I am Hindu. Real dharma means, or real religion means your constitutional position that you are in. Just like the chilies. What is the constitutional position of chilies, the dharma of chilies? It's very cool by nature, isn't it? You put it into the fridge and take it out and bite. It's cool, isn't it? It's never, the nature of chilies is to be hot, pungent.
Yes.
Similarly, water. What is the dharma of water?
It's cool.
Huh? Liquid. You can even put it in the fridge. You take it out of the fridge and leave it one side, it becomes liquid again. So like the dharma of the living entity is that we are part and parcel of Krishna, and we are eternal by nature, and we are meant to engage in devotional service eternally to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the nature of, or dharma, or the religion of a living entity. Nothing else. But we misinterpret religion that I am Christian, I am Hindu, I am Muslim, I am this, I am that, and on that notion, on the bodily platform, that is, we commit so many sinful activities, and that is why we cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead and free ourselves from this mode of ignorance. So therefore we have to. And the second weakness of the heart is that as one increases the propensity to lord it over material nature, the second weakness of the heart is that as one increases the propensity to lord it over material nature, he becomes attached to matter and the position of matter. So when you want to become a proprietor of this material nature, lord it over, when you do that, you become attached to that, to this body, for example. You think you are the owner of this body, but you have to give it up. But if you can understand that you are not this body, you are spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna, an eternal servant, then you are perfect, you are intelligent. That's the highest intelligence. The problems of material existence are due to these weakness of the heart. In this chapter, first 5 verses describe the process of freeing oneself from these weakness of heart. And the rest of the chapter, from the 6th verse through the end, discusses Purushottam Yoga. So we are in the month of Purushottam, and this whole chapter is known as Purushottam Yoga. And as it states here, in this chapter, the first 5 verses describes the process of freeing oneself from these weakness of heart. And right in the very first verse of this 15th chapter, it speaks about a very unique tree, and that is the banyan tree. And what is the uniqueness of this banyan tree? Is that the branches are growing downwards and upwards, and the root is coming from the top, up from the top. Do you see a plant like that? Root is on the top. It's always underground, isn't it? And there are roots also underground. So you have to analyze. That's why I'm saying when you read this each verse and you analyze each one, then you will understand. The higher branches of the tree are the higher heavenly planetary system. The lower branches of the tree that grows downwards, it's a lower creation of this material world. And you get the higher planetary system, the lower planetary system. The whole creation is created of the 14 planetary systems. Therefore, we got to understand, and that we are in the middle planetary system, the Earth planet. And then you get the lower planetary system and the higher planetary system within this material world. Above that is the highest root cause of everything, which is Vaikuntha or Krishna Loka. That is the root coming from the top. And the branch is growing downwards in this material world. And by your austerities, you should perform tapasya, in other words, and detach yourself or cut this material tree right from the bottom root, which is at the root in the bottom is attachment to this material nature. You are completely rooted down in this material nature. And you have to cut it out right from the bottom of the root. Because if you have experience, if you try to cut a tree or just pinch a plant from the top and try to clean, that it grows again, isn't it? Why? Because of the root, you did not take it out from the bottom root. It says roots are coming out from the top and the roots at the bottom. The roots at the bottom is you are rooted in the ground. If you do not pull it out completely, those sinful activities will grow again. It will fructify and you will suffer in sinful activity. And when, due to attachment with the sword of knowledge, if you cut this tree, how do you do that? Through chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is a sword to cut this banyan tree, which is so entangled. You cannot understand where is the beginning of this tree and where this tree is ending, you know. And the twigs and the leaves are the different modes of material nature. That's all described here in the first 5 verses of this chapter here. Therefore, if you analyze it very carefully, you will understand how to cut this tree off, and then you can come to Krishna. And where do you go? It will be describing just from the 5th verse right up to end. It will be describing Purushottam Yoga, that is the yoga of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When you cut yourself off from material nature and become freed and purified, then you can go back to the spiritual world, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Purushottama. He comes from the word, 2 words, Purusha and Uttama. Purusha means personality, person. That's what Purusha means, person. And Uttama means the supermost, the greatest, the best. No one is greater than that Purusha. Because that is why he is known as Purushottama, Uttama. He is the topmost, the highest, the greatest, the best. So therefore in this month of Purushottam, one should engage in topmost devotional service, and one should become free from this material anxiety. So I am going to just give you this rundown of this month of Purushottam. How did we get this month of Purushottam? Anybody? How did we get this month of Purushottam? Anybody knows?
With regards to the lunar calendar.
Sorry?
With regards to the lunar calendar.
Yeah, that's just one part. Yeah, in regards to the lunar calendar and the solar calendar. The solar calendar, how many days it has? 365 and a quarter or something like that, right? I'm not a mathematician, but you have to work it out. 365 and a quarter or something like that. And the lunar calendar, how many days?
354.
Huh?
354.
354 and a quarter or something like that, right? A little bit more. There's some decimals. And if you subtract that from both, you get about 10 point something, something, something for each year. And therefore, that 10 for the next 3 years, it multiplies into 1 month, 30 days. Right? And that 30 days becomes 1 extra month in every 3 years. Right? But in that month, nobody performs any ritual activities. No one. If you're a materialistic person on the fruit of activity, then you can't perform any ritual activities. Because that month is called as inauspicious. Right? But every other month, within these 12 months, one can perform rituals because there is some tithi, that there is a presiding deity in each of the 12 months. But this month here, or Adhik month, Adhik means extra. That's what it means. Adhik means extra month. And therefore, it has got a personality called Adhik, but nobody worries about it. They ignore that personality. But within this 12 months, different things are performed, rituals are performed within this 12 months. And these other 12 months, they should make a mockery of this Adhik Mass. And she was feeling very, very disturbed, because they called all sorts of things, and they even named it Mala Mass. Mala Mass means deity month, or like stool. Yes, it's mentioned in scripture, it's like stool. And therefore she felt very disturbed, and she began to cry and lament. That she is being mocked, and nobody wants to perform anything in that month. Every month has some activity, but in that month there is no activity. And she was being mocked by these other months. So somebody mocks you in an assembly, would you feel good about it? No. You will feel very disturbed, isn't it? Huh? So this Adhik Mass began to lament, and then she went up to Lord Vishnu, to Vishnu Lord, and she began to cry at his feet and explain Lord Vishnu about this incident, how she is being mocked and nobody is concerned about us, about this month, and what should she do? She needs the help of the Lord. The Lord says, I cannot do anything, but anyway, I will take you with me to Goloka Vrindavan. So he held her hand, and she was walking she went to Goloka Vrindavan to see the Supreme Personality of God with the Lord Vishnu. And when Lord Vishnu came to Goloka Vrindavan, Adhik Mass had to take shelter behind Lord Vishnu, because her effulgence was so bright that she could not open even her eyes in the spiritual world. Because Lord Krishna's effulgence, that is the Brahma Jyoti effulgence, is so bright. It says that if you put trillions of suns together in the sky, that is the brightness of the Brahma Jyoti effulgence emanating from the body of Lord Krishna. And that Brahma Jyoti effulgence that emanates from Lord Krishna, it shines on the sun planet, and then the sun gets its brightness. Do you know that? Did you know that? Yeah. The brightness of the effulgence from Krishna's body shines on the sun planet, and the sun planet gets that light. And that light that brightens the sun shines on the moon planet, and the moon planet shines on the sun, and the stars, shines on the stars, and they all get their brightness. Now, stop there for a moment and think about the brightness of Krishna. But yet, people cannot understand the Supreme Person of Godhead, that without Him, nothing can take place. So therefore we have to owe our gratitude to Krishna, worship Him, pray to Him, because He is the Supreme Person from whom everything comes. So while she was hiding behind Lord Vishnu, she was lamenting. When people stands behind, she wasn't screaming or something, but she was doing like that, And Lord Krishna is wondering that anyone who comes to Goloka, Vrindavan, there's nobody in Goloka, Vrindavan ever cries. Nobody laments, because there's no anxiety. There is no misery in Goloka, Vrindavan. Now who is this person? And then when Lord Krishna diminished his brightness, and then when Adhik Mas came in front of the Lord, she began to lament. And then Krishna pacified and told her, why are you lamenting so much? What is the problem? And then she explained. And then Krishna said, do not worry. From now on, you can be under my protection, because I am known as Purushottam, means I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you can take shelter of me, and I will actually get married to you. So Krishna married Adhik Mas. And now you know that when the partners, when they marry each other, and when the husband is very, very rich, is a millionaire, and when you get married to such a millionaire, what happens? You become a millionaire also. He transfers. If he loves you a lot, then he transfers all the money to you. You become a millionaire also. Isn't it, Mata? So get married to a millionaire, right? So that's how Mala Mas became, she got there. And also, when you become married, your ID name also changes, isn't it? You become Mrs. So-and-so, right? Even your surname changes. Am I right? Your wife takes on your name. So similarly like that, Adhik Mas took on the name of Purushottam, and she is known as Purushottama. And Krishna said, I will and also transfer all my purity, all my energy into you. And this will remain the purest of all months. So that's how Adhik Mas, the 13th month that comes every 3 years, became the purest month of all other months. And for your information, this Purushottam month, it is mentioned even in scripture that it is even purer than the month of Kartik. Do you know that? It is even purer than the month of Kartik. So therefore, anyone who performs any activities for Krishna, not material activity, no material rituals, only for Krishna, the Supreme Person of Godhead, one will make tremendous advancement in spiritual life. And at the end, you can become purified and go back home, back to Godhead, to the spiritual world, and enjoy eternally with Krishna. So there are a few things that there are do's and don'ts in this month of Purushottam. You can listen to it very carefully. The do's first I will do. I just wrote it down here from the ISKCON Desire Tree. First one is increase chanting, very important. Dedicate extra time to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Example, 20 round you can increase if you're chanting 16. If you're chanting 20, increase it to 32 rounds. Or you're chanting 32 rounds, you can increase to 64 rounds if you can. And then the next one is offer lamp. Light a pure ghee lamp before an altar or photo of Radha and Krishna and offer. Every day, that is. And then the next one, study scriptures. Read texts like Bhagavad Gita, especially chapter 15, Purushottam Yoga, and Srimad Bhagavatam. Next one is worship the Lord. Offer fresh tulasi leaves and worship the deities with prayers and bhajans. If you can't do bhajans on yourself, you can put on your YouTube songs and all that. Bhajans, Krishna bhajans, not Bollywood bhajans. Okay. And then practice simplicity. Eat only simple, sattvic, pure vegetarian meals that have been offered to Krishna as Purushottam. Only taking prasad. And what are the don'ts? What you must not do? Avoid prohibited foods. Abstain from onion, garlic, non-vegetarian food, intoxicants and gambling. Another don't you must not do. Avoid blasphemy. Be extremely careful not to criticize or offend any devotees, saints, cows or scriptures. Right? Observe celibacy, next one. Maintain strict celibacy for the month. Whole month you have to be celibate. And then E, avoid luxuries. Refrain from speaking frivolously, engaging in excessive gossip, or wasting time on unnecessary entertainment. All your TV should be off, no entertainment. Avoid harsh actions, next one. Do not sleep during the day or needlessly. Or cut your hair and nails. That is an option. It's optional. If you want to, you can. And then the next one, recite the song with meaning of Krishna. Song is like Jaya Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna, all those wonderful songs that glorifies the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then you can always offer ghee lamp with kirtan. And Paramatma Das, he actually asked me to sing one song. Every time he asked me to sing a song, but since this is the month of Kartik, so I'm just taking this opportunity to recite this wonderful song for the month of Kartik. I'm not sure if you all can, there's no music, but we'll do it without music because it's not an easy song, but we can try. I will just sing each verse and then we'll read the translation and give a small explanation so that you can understand where you are. And this song was actually written or compiled by, who was it compiled by? Huh? You know, you've got the page, the Madhumangal Thakur. And let me tell you about Madhumangal Thakur very quickly. Madhumangal Thakur was a very, very advanced, supremely advanced devotee of Lord Krishna. But I'm just making it a bit short. It so happened that at one time that he met a beautiful prostitute. And he became very attached to her. And he used to spend a long time with her. And became so attached that his spiritual life came down. And then this prostitute left him and she went back from where she came. And then he was lamenting all the time and he's wondering how to get to her. And somehow he wanted to get to her due to attachment, like we were just talking about material attachment. Material attachment can actually destroy you. And so it was one time that he made up his mind to actually go and meet this prostitute and be in her association because he was so much attached. So when he left home, he got caught up in a huge storm. And the place became flooded right through. And he was crossing that flood, swimming across, going to that prostitute. And eventually he came to her house. And when he knocked on the door, when she opened, she was surprised. How is this that she has come, And then she asked, he said that, I am so much attached to you that I definitely came to see you, to be with you all the time. And being a prostitute, what answer would you get? But lo and behold, it was something very different. What did she tell Bilvamangal Thakur? That if he had that much of attachment for Lord Krishna, how would that be? And then that hit him in his consciousness. And when that hit him in his consciousness, again he was reminded of Krishna. And then he told her, just give me your hairpin. So he took the hairpin, he took her hairpin and he dug his both eyes out completely. And he threw it away. And then he turned around and he left the house of the prostitute and he began to walk. And he just took a few steps. He began to walk, and lo and behold, who comes? Lord Sri Krishna. Little Krishna comes, holds his finger, and takes him directly to Vrindavan. Bilvamangal Thakur came. So this song, he has composed himself. He is singing this from his heart. What happens when you are in love with Krishna? What Krishna does to you? And he's talking about a thief here. Because Krishna is of all thieves. We think our leaders are thieves. They are no thieves. They are no thieves. They are nothing. Krishna is the biggest thief of all thieves. He can take anything and everything away from you. So this is a song. So I'm going to recite this song in a poetic form. I'm not sure if you can play some mridanga and kartals. Like 1, 2, 3, very slow, but not very soft, but slow beat, right? Song name is Vraja Prasedam Navanita. An official name of the song is Sri Sri Chaurastakam. That means the biggest thief. And the author is Bilvamangal Thakur. Vraje prasedam navanida choram gopan gananam chadukala toram vraje prasadam navanida choram gopan gananam chadukala choram aneka janmarjita papa choram choraganyam purusham mamami. Translation. I offer pranams to that foremost of thieves, who is famous in Vraj as the butter thief, and he who steals the gopis' clothes, and who, for those who take shelter of him, steals the sins which have accrued over many lifetimes. So here it is, Lord Krishna steals everything from everybody, just to increase their love. And also, if you are a sinful person that's surrendered to Krishna, Krishna steals all the sinful activities away from you. Takes it away. That's the biggest thief. So next verse 2. Shri Radhikaya Hridaya Choram Navabuddha Shamala Kanti Choram Pada Sritanam Cha Samsta Choram Chora Gradyanam Purusham Namami. Text 2. I offer pranam to the foremost of thieves, who steals Srimati Radharani's heart, who steals the dark lustre of fresh rain cloud, and who steals the sins and sufferings of those who take shelter of his feet. So here it is, Lord Krishna steals the love of Srimati Radharani. And that's how he comes down in this material world, stealing the love of Srimati Radharani. He comes to this material world as who? Gauranga, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. He plunders the love of Srimati Radharani and becomes Gauranga. Oh, Lord Chaitanya comes down to this material world. And also he steals the dark lustre of monsoon clouds. Monsoon clouds are very dark. He steals the color of those clouds. And that is why he is darkish in color. Huh? He is darkish in color, yeah. And also he steals all the sins and sufferings of those who take shelter of his feet. So if you want all your sins and sufferings to get away, you surrender to this chore here. Akishchani kritya padisritam ya karoti bhikshum patigeinam kena piyao vishna choraye drishna srutovana jagatrayapi. That's verse number 3. He turns his surrendered devotees into paupers and wandering homeless beggars. And such a fearsome thief has never been seen or heard of in all the 3 worlds. So you can become like a pauper. It takes everything away from you that you become attached to. If you want to become Krishna. If you don't want Krishna, don't take it away from him. Only when you surrender to him, Krishna will make you come closer to him. If that thing takes you away from him, then he takes it away from you. That's Krishna. So just be careful. If you don't want to become Krishna conscious and engage in loving devotion to Krishna, don't take to Krishna conscious. He will take those things that will take you away from him. And that's what happened to Madhumangal Thakur. Because he was so attached and loving to Krishna, when the moment the prostitute told him about Krishna, that he struck his brain and he dug his eyes out. And his consciousness became full Krishna, and he went back with Krishna to Vrindavan. Text 4. Yadhyanamapi harti asesham giri prachanapi paparasam ascharya rupnanu taurae drishta sruto vanamaya kadapi. Text 4. Mere utterance of his name purges one of a mountain of sins. Such an astonishingly wonderful thief I have never seen or heard of anywhere. So if you utter his name once, it says mere utterance of his name purges one of a mountain of sins. You can have a mountain of sins. And if you utter Krishna's name just once, all that sinful activity will be vanquished. So therefore you have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Text number 5. Dhanam cha manam cha tatindriyani pranam cha kritamam kevalam eva palasya kutradito adaya kaura om bhakti damana chimaya nirodha. Translation. O thief, having stolen my wealth, my honor, my senses, my life, and my everything, where can you run to? I have caught you with the rope of my devotion. So Madhumangal Thakur is saying, due to my devotional service and love for you, I've caught you with the rope of love, and now I'm binding you tightly in my heart. Where can you run? So therefore we have to do like that, follow in the footsteps. We may be not so advanced, but at least engage in loving devotional service and try to place Krishna in your heart and remember him all the time. And as you become more and more advanced, you can bind him tightly. And number 6. Chintasti Gauram Yamapasha Bandam Vinakshi Vinabhava Pasha Bandam Chikanti Servasha Sarmasha Bandam Navatmano Bhakta Kritam Tu Bandam. You cut the terrible noose of Yamaraj. You sever the dreadful noose of material existence, and you slash everyone's material bondage, but you are unable to cut the knot fastened by your own loving devotees. So Madhumangal Thakur is saying that Krishna cuts the terrible noose of Yamaraj. If a devotee surrenders to Krishna, Yamaraj can never come tackle him. Vishnu Dutas will come to take you. You sever the dreadful noose of material existence. If you are entangled in material nature, he cuts all that of you. And you slash everyone's material bondage. When you are bound to material nature, Krishna slashes that. But if you are a pure devotee, Madhumangal Thakur is saying that Krishna is unable to cut the hard knot that the devotee has tied with his love. Krishna cannot cut that knot, because that love is so strong in Krishna. Krishna is unable to cut. He must give up. Actually, Krishna surrenders to a pure devotee. He actually surrenders to a pure devotee. That's how Krishna becomes when you become purely in love with Krishna. 7. Mane mane shetam charasi gore kare graduk mani vadam sabasvare chora hari chiriya swachorya doshitam eva dandam. Translation. O stealer of my everything, O thief, today I have imprisoned you in the miserable prison house of my heart, which is very fearful due to the terrible darkness of my ignorance, and therefore a very long time you will remain receiving appropriate punishment for your crimes of thievery. So Madhumangal Thakur is saying Krishna that he has imprisoned him in the prison house of his heart. Why the heart is a prison house? Because heart is full of misery. If you are not a devotee, that is. It is full of misery. That is, then only it's a prison house. But if it's in devotion, it's the house of Krishna. So therefore he's saying, in his prison house, which is like misery, I've caught you and I bound you in my prison house of my heart, which is very fearful. The heart is very fearful because of the darkness of ignorance. Everybody is fearful of that ignorance or darkness, isn't it? And therefore for a long time you will remain receiving appropriate punishment for your crimes of thievery. Bhagavad Thakur said he will catch him and imprison Krishna in the prison house of his heart, which normally was always so sinful. Now it will be purified and you'll feel so much love and happiness within. And he will be receiving appropriate punishment. What is the proper punishment for Krishna? That it binds Krishna tightly. Krishna cannot go anywhere anymore. You bind him tightly in his heart and feed him with so much love and devotion. And the last verse, there is no music to that. Kara grivasha sada hridaye madhaye Magvakti Pashadrida Bandha Nischalasam Tvam Krishna hai Pralaya Koti Satantare Api Sarvasya Chaura Hridayanaye Mochayami. Translation. O Krishna, chief of my everything, the noose of my devotion, remaining forever tight, you will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart, because I will not release you for millions of eons. So Madhumangal Thakur is saying this, the Krishna, the biggest thief, that now that he is caught in the noose of the devotion of a devotee, noose means tightly tied, is compared to a rope. The love of a devotee is complete, is compared to tying Krishna tightly with love in your heart. And he's saying that from now on you will continuously live in my heart. You cannot escape from me now. You will always stay within the prison house of my heart. And I will not release you for millions of eons, means forever and ever. I will not ever release you from my heart. I will always bind you tightly. So in this month of Purushottam, our humble request, catch the thief, bind him tightly in your heart, and let him steal all the sinful activities from you that will not give Krishna love. Keep all those things that will give love to Krishna and his devotees. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
His grace Madhumangal Prabhu ki. Thank you so much. Any short questions? No long comments. Just short comments. Short questions. We have limited time. Question can be short. You can ask. Mansi, you got a question?
When you ask Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
I was going to ask, look, if I didn't complete, look, I don't do 16 rounds, I do 20 all the time.
Sorry?
I don't do 16 rounds, I do 20 all the time.
Okay.
Right now, what is happening? Sometimes I'm delayed. Can I complete it by the evening?
Yes, of course, yes. But you should do it on the same day. But if you cannot, sometimes if you are caught up with a lot of work, devotional work, not material work, devotional work, then if you got some rounds next day, you make sure you complete it with your rounds. Must be complete.
No, I do the 20, I finish by the hour.
Same day, no, that's fine. You can divide your rounds if you can't manage everything at one time. You can do half in the morning, half in the afternoon, or some in the morning, some midday, some in the afternoon. That is up to you. But it's best to do it in the morning. Like now is month of Purushottam. If you can get up, Mangal Arati hour, take a shower, and offer your lamp and all that, and chant all your rounds, that will be good enough. But if you can't, you can still do it in the afternoon when you come back from work or something like that. Right? Anything else?
No, that's
Any questions?
Okay, we're going to light lamps.
I can ask you a quick question.
Yes.
Prabhu, you mentioned that there's 14 planets, you said. You said 7 below, 7 on the top, and we in the middle.
Yeah.
So how does the Lord Mahavishnu fit into this whole creation? Does he start from the top or from the bottom?
From the top. He's above this, both from the top and bottom.
Yes.
From the top and bottom is within the material world.
Yes.
7 upper planetary system.
Yes.
And 7 is in the below
Yes.
planetary system. Well, we are in the middle.
Yes. So Mahavishnu is both top and bottom.
Huh?
Mahavishnu is from the top and the bottom.
No, Mahavishnu is above this
And then from there, the
14 planetary system.
Okay.
It's not within the realm of this
This is not a
material planetary system.
Oh, it's
But the
not.
upper planetary system within the material world, lower planetary system and the middle planetary system is all on the material platform.
Okay.
Mahavishnu is above that.
above it.
And above that is Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, in the Vaikuntha. Lord Vishnu is in the Vaikuntha planet, and Krishna within the Vaikuntha planet, Goloka Vrindavan, topmost planet in the spiritual world.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Next time when we come, we will speak about the planetary system and how Krishna is situated on the topmost planet, where we all want to go.
Yes.
All right?
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes, guys, Madhumangal Prabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki
So
jai.
what we'll do,